Hey, I'm Dr. Kylie Burton, founder of the Foundational Medicine Institute. What is the Foundational Medicine Institute? What is foundational medicine? That's what we're going to get into today. But first of all, I have to explain that here at FMI, you're going to get help with both the clinical and the business. We're going to marry the two together to help you serve 10,000 patients over time. Here's how it works. Let's talk about the business first, because this is my jam. I love helping people get into this virtual space and build the business of their dreams. So to do this, there's a 6-step process. We're going to call this the 10,000 patient framework business blueprint. Okay. The business blueprint is 6 steps. First, you have to build it. This requires things like building programs. This requires things like building systems, having a back end in place that's automated. We all like automations. Trust me, it makes a world of a difference. The second step, once you have those processes and programs built, now we got to brand it. This is where we dial in the messaging so that when people go to your sales pages, to your registration pages, they buy. They're willing to jump. They're willing to give you their email address, their text, their phone number, all the things. Okay. We've got to brand it and message it in a way that it gets them to jump. That's part of brand it. The second part is, how do you go out and attract clients? Marketing is what we would all call that. Right there, step 2. Step 3, no matter how amazing of a practitioner you are, if you don't understand money and your worth, you're not going to get very far. So no matter how many clinical programs you can create and amazing clinical results you can get, or the business programs that you can create and have all the back end in place, if you can't talk about, ask for, and receive money, it's not going to go very far. And you are worth every zero next to your name, however many zeros that is. Okay. So I really have to upgrade our relationship with money, and that's where the bank it step comes in. Next is become it. How on earth did I go from functional blood work specialist to CEO and founder of Foundational Medicine Institute? You got to become that person to just attract those upper level opportunities. Next, book it. Now, you all know I love me a good book. In fact, I can pull many of them off my shelves here. This is the first book I wrote. This is a book I am a co-author in, Radical Freedom. We've got an entire series ourselves of co-authored books. Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is soon to be produced. So you can tell I'm a fan of booking it. Why? Because it builds your credibility, it builds your authority. Think about all of the people that you, quote, put on this ladder. The JJ Virgins of the world, the Mark Hymans of the world. How many books do they have behind their name? Okay. Now that's the literal step of book it. You can also book stages, virtual stages, podcasts, YouTube channels, social media. That's booking it. And that's really where you spread your message and grow your audience 10x so that you can serve 10,000 patients over time. That's step 5. And the last step in our business system is better it. Now, I wish I could tell you that we're going to create a sales page one time and it's going to be gold from the very get-go. I wish I could tell you you're going to run one group program and the first time you run it, it's going to be glorious. You're not going to need to change anything. Nope. We're constantly bettering everything. It's a never-ending game, which is one of the hardest parts of being an entrepreneur, is realizing we no longer have these deadlines that we've been so used to. Think about it. We all have some kind of letter next to our name. That meant that we had a deadline to meet and we had criteria to check the boxes and tests to take. There's no test to take. There's no criteria to check the boxes. There's just constantly bettering it and constantly improving ourselves and our business, but enjoying the journey along the way. Okay, so that's the business pillar. And we've got programs that have help every single step of the way. Some of them are already existing and some of them are coming up new in 2025. Our other pillar is the clinical. You get the best of both worlds in this place. I used to be the clinical guru. I am not anymore. I've gotten too good at the business side. And that's where I love to be in. The clinical, you're probably going to work with Mike Reese. He's the head over the clinical side. And on the clinical side, we have a 3-step process for creating protocols that you can count on no matter what the scenario. That might mean you're working one-on-one still. That might mean you want to bust out of one-to-one and create a 6-week program, create a 90-day program. These are group programs or DIY programs, do-it-yourself programs. You need this 3-step process to create clinical protocols that you can count on every single time. The first process is you got to know the blood work. You need to know the blood work a better way. The second step are what we call Mike's 6 M's. There are 6 M's that he highly recommends to have in every single protocol because you're going to get faster results. Why? That means you're treating the cells, you're treating the systems, and together when they all play nice, it's a pretty thing. Okay? Which brings me to process number 3. And the cool part is these can typically be monitored with this blood work. All right. So with the business tools and the clinical tools that you need to run a successful virtual business to serve 10,000 patients over time and escape the traditional one-to-one model. That's what we are all about here at FMI. So welcome to Foundational Medicine Institute. I'm your CEO, Dr. Kylie Burton. See you on the inside.